So a few weeks ago, I was waking up in the middle of the night at around like 3 a.m., 3:30 ish every single night, and I was having a nightmare. And these nightmares were a little bit different, but the common theme was I was seeing what I would call demons. And basically, the way that I recognize them as demons is they looked similar to like how Hollywood would portray demons, like deformed, human looking. Like even the voices were like creaky voices, like a old lady kind of that's just like a smoker, like, hey, how you, can you see me? Like a creepy voice, like, you know what I mean? And it just gave you the chills. And even on one of the dreams, I would wake up and I would feel my foot move, like something moved my foot. Something was around me. Something was either possessing me or something. But I was seeing these things that I would call demons in my dreams. And if you've been keeping up with my channel and you've been watching me for a bit, from the beginning when I started making videos about getting sober, obviously when you stop smoking marijuana or you quit an addiction, you do start to see demons. But this was like a while after I finally quit or whatever, and then I was being woken up, and then I was just spooked so badly in the middle of the night that I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. I would just be so scared. And this started to happen when I started to like ask God for things and clarity in my life and stuff like that. And so actually at one point I told my mom about this, and I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm waking up in the middle of the night, I'm being extremely spooked, and I'm not able to go back to sleep. And my mom gave me this advice, which was amazing, which is exactly what I needed. She said, God doesn't wake everybody up in the middle of the night, but when God wakes you up in the middle of the night, He's calling on you to pray. When the world is totally silent, pray, because God is calling on you to step into your purpose or whatever. My mom didn't say that part, but that's what I was receiving. And so I did. And slowly but surely the dreams have kind of settled down. I'm getting different kinds of dreams, which will be a different video. But what I realized was not just the marijuana, but a lot of things that I was doing was inviting was inviting demons to take over my life. And so today I want to make this video about what these things are that I feel like were inviting demons to take over my life and to control my life and have an influence over my life. Because I was using these things and giving power to these things, and these things were a mechanism for them to come into my life and take over and take me away from God and righteousness and put me on the path that the devil wants. You know, I think of when I see those things, I can recognize them, and I feel like they are minions of Shaitan, minions of the devil. And so, yeah. So obviously, like I said, I think when I was smoking weed every single night and doing that ritual of the bong, I think that was one way I was just opening myself up, because it would make me lazy and I would overeat, and I was inviting in a demon in that way. And I think that's self-explanatory, but I think it goes a little bit deeper. So I want to go into, my spirituality for a minute, because I grew up Muslim, but I always kind of rejected it when I was younger. And I was always spiritual though. And then as I was getting older, going to college, I started getting into astrology and divination a little bit, and then angel numbers. But it really got bad when I started working at an occult store in 2020. And so that's kind of when I think that it was starting to get a little bit overboard. There's a whole story I can tell about this, going from New Age world and occult stuff back to being with God and living a righteous life and in service to God and not in service to myself, which I feel like New Age spirituality kind of is. So yeah, I want to make this video and stay focused on the things that I was doing that was inviting the demons to take over my life. And so I think that they had a hold on my life for like 5 years. But it wasn't until I stopped doing the things that were inviting them in that I finally became aware and could see them. And when you can see them and you see how weak and weak they are and how powerless they really are, you realize how powerful you are, and you're like, I don't want to have this B word have control of my life. You know what I mean? I'm going to have control of my life, and part of my control is to kick you out. You have no control over my life, okay? And so that's why I want to share that, because I feel like this is a powerful moment that I've had, and I want to share that with people. So yes, of course, addictions, all kinds of addictions, that's kind of opening yourself up, giving your power away. That's a demon. That's inviting the demons to take over your life, and it causes other problems. The things that the devil wants you to do, he can get you to do because you're kind of working for him, and you're not working for God and doing the right things that allow you to live in service to God and to others and to good. You end up working for evil. So yeah, number one is your addictions, and number two, as I was getting into as the occult stuff, I think just generally the new age spiritual stuff, but number one, the divinations. And there's lots of different aspects of the new age spiritual stuff that invites demons. The thing with new age spirituality is they give you small little truths that make you believe all the lies. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what sucks you in. And so when I started working at that store, prior to that, I was into soulmates, and I would just be so lustful. And obviously that's something too, addiction to lust. I would be so lustful over guys, and I would put so much power over my lust. And I would think people are my soulmate or my twin flame. And then all of a sudden I'm looking for divination, doing pick a card tarot readings on YouTube, and trying to like ask the universe for answers about what's going on, and not looking at the reality of the situation, but living in this fairy tale land that, oh, they're just treating you this way because of this, and they're going to turn around. But the devil was tricking me to take my energy so that I wasn't able to use all my energy for good, and I was using my energy for something else. So believing in soulmates and twin flames, huge part of it. And then, yeah, when I started working at that occult store, I got really into tarot and all those divination things. But I had so many cards, and I would do them like almost every night, asking questions. I would be asking question. And I think every time you go into something like that to go and ask a question, you are inviting those demons in to have influence over your life. So yeah, that was huge. And I had a moment with all this stuff where I was like, this is all wrong. That's a whole nother story. But number one is in New Age, under the New Age spiritual umbrella, divination. No, you don't do divination. You lift your hands in praise. You ask God, and you ask your questions to God, and God reveals what's best for you. Okay, you don't go to nothing else. Okay, because then you're working with the minions of the devil, or even the devil himself. You know what I mean? So that's under the New Age spiritual stuff. But as I was working at that spiritual store, there would be working psychics and Reiki and all these different kinds of people. And so, you know, I was interested in it. I was also into hypnosis and did a whole course on like doing a past life regression hypnosis, QHHT. Anyway, I didn't go like and do sessions on people, but I knew all the stuff and I was so into it. But yeah, let me tell you this one story where I got energy work. So another thing, don't get energy work from another person. Get energy work from God. You put up your hands and you pray, and then God gives you what's best for you. And that should be it. No more energy work. When you get an energy work from an imperfect human, you're going to pick up their imperfections and get their energy put onto you. That's the energy work that's going on. And so the guy that worked, that owned the store, he did shamanic drumming. So you would lay you down on a bed and then drum over you, and he would use the sound of the frequencies or whatever to fix your energy or something like that. Weird, but I was into it. And I did it. After I did it, the next day, I bought a pack of cigarettes and I started smoking. And I found out later, the daughter worked at the store. I found out later from the daughter that the next day, him and his wife quit smoking. So what I realized was this energy work basically worked for him. I paid my money to get this energy work, and I ended up with his and his wife's addiction to smoking, and they were off of it. So anyway, doing all kinds of energy work, you're opening yourself up to the demons, but also to the energy that's not useful, other people's demons. That's what it is. You're opening yourself up to other people's demons. So that's kind of under the New Age umbrella. And then also, you know, I was getting into the rituals and trying to manifest and lighting candles and doing those like spell things, you know. Again, you're working with the demons on the other side because you're doing rituals like offering energy in this realm to their realm. Well, what you should be doing is connecting to the highest of the highest realm, which is God. You lift your hands and you pray for it. You don't do those silly little rituals, you know, and you don't use the creation to get what you want. You ask the creator for what you want, and if it's best for you, if it's written for you, it will happen. But that's what faith is. You know, you don't serve the creation and use the creation, you know, like we're not that powerful. God is all powerful. You know, God makes things happen. Yes, we got to work hard, but working hard isn't doing these damn rituals, like for real. So anyway, I think that's it for the New Age umbrella, like believing in soulmates and twin flames, getting lost in that, divination, the rituals and the spells and the energy work. All those things, inviting demons, inviting other people's demons, and then addictions, you know, that isn't a demon in itself, keeping you trapped, not being in your power, not being able to serve because you're stuck in addictions, no matter what the addiction is. And going back to the transferring of energy, promiscuity, and I have to say, like, honestly, what happens when you have sex with somebody else is you pick up their energy in the same way that energy work happens, but maybe it's even on a deeper level because it's skin to skin. So you're picking up all their BS, all their demons, you're picking up and you're taking on as your own. And then all of a sudden, you have all these demons you gotta get rid of. You gotta vanquish all these demons. You know what I mean? Anyway, like when you have sex, it's a huge energy transfer. You are connecting with someone. You are being the most vulnerable you can be. So you better watch out. Okay? And these are the reasons why I think I was inviting and had a lot of demons. And then, you know, I had a moment, and maybe I'll talk about this in another video, where I realized all this stuff was evil. And I was influenced by media and whatever to believe that all this stuff was okay and it was good for me. But in reality, it was the devil telling me it was good for me. And it was actually the opposite of good for me. It was horrible for me. And it was keeping me trapped and disabling me from living in my purpose. Living a life where I could serve good, serve God. And now I'm getting back on track with that now. And when I started getting back on track with that and talking with God and praying, He woke me up in the middle of the night and showed me what was taking a hold of me, showing me what was possessing me, having an influence over me, so that I could pray to Him, pray to God, and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I let you down. I'm sorry that I did all these things that let the devil have a hold on me. And please see that I'm trying my best now and use me for your purpose. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's some of the stuff there. I wrote working for Satanists as well, but yeah, like I mentioned, like the money you make and where it comes from, you have to understand. Are these good people, the big corporations, you know, that might even be doing sex trafficking in the background? You should watch out for that, because they're probably evil people too. Watch where your money comes from. You know, I used to work at this occult store, which I would call them Satanists. I don't really care. I'm like, straight up, they're working with something else. It's not God. And the thing with New Age spirituality is you think you're worshiping yourself. And that's what it is. You put yourself first. Put God first. Put good first. That's what you got to put first. Yes, put yourself first in that you got to put your mask on, you know, first in the airplane before you put your kid's mask on, but you have to anyway. I just feel like New Age spirituality is about worshiping self. Well, we should be worshiping God. But I also worked at a music studio because I do music and I teach music. I worked at a teaching studio, and I found out the woman that manages it, she was straight up Satanist and posting about it on her Facebook. And I said, how ugly is that? My bank account, I'm making my money, and it's never feeling like abundance. It's never feeling like what God's abundance probably really is and flowing. And so I quit there too. And I started my own business, and now I teach on my own privately, and I teach kids, and I teach gospel music, and yeah. Anyway, so that's my story about, and my camera is telling me it's about to die. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. So those were some of the reasons how I was inviting demons into my life. I hope you got something out of this video. My name's Abu, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks so much. Mwah. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye bye.